The Spey is one of Scotland's great rivers, travelling 116 miles before pouring into the North Sea. It's a world-famous salmon river. Anglers pay £300 a day to fish here. And it has given its water and its name to an entire class of malt whisky. Half of all Scotland's whisky distilleries cluster around Speyside. The Spey creates industry, jobs, excitement, and a superb environment.
But where is the river created? Where does the Spey rise? And crucially, can I ride my bike there?
I'm going in search of the source of the Spey, and I'm taking a little something with me. Now, this is not exactly comparable to the quest to find the source of the Nile. I mean, just look at the OS map. There it is, Loch Spey. But having been to one end, I felt I ought to see the other, especially since there's a good road and then a track most of the way there.
It's still August, albeit the end of August. And yet there's a chill wind blowing down there, and I'm pleased I've worn my winter long trousers. I've even gone for a jacket and a pair of gloves.
I decided to start in Lagan and take the old General Wade Road towards the Corryarrick Pass, and then branch off towards Loch Spey.
It's going to be my constant companion all day.
But this is not all rural idyll.
This is the Spey Dam, and it was built in 1942-43 as part of the war effort to produce hydroelectric power to make aluminium. It was desperately needed.
But there's no generators or pylons here. A canal and a tunnel carries much of the Spey's water away.
And that's what environmentalists say is causing big problems, that and climate change. The over-abstraction of water from the Spey is causing big problems to the ecology of the river. And that's very important for salmon. And it also changes the nature of the river for all the industries and all the people who rely on it. We're now on one of General Wade's military roads, and Wade is the guy who always gets the PR on this, isn't he? Even though Caulfield actually made more miles of road. I was talking earlier about pylons. Well, here they are. These are the ones carrying all the power south. Hello, going well?
Then I met Mark, who'd just come over the Corryarrick Pass. He watches the channel and is something of an inventor.
Well, you're doing really well.
By the way, I didn't tell you, I've got a homemade bike tent.
Okay.
So the bike stands up and the tent comes off it, so the bike holds the tent up.
Brilliant.
So it works really well, it's inside there.
Send me a picture.
I will, but you have to get down publicly because I'm paid to do it.
Oh, okay. Right. No, in that case, don't send me a picture. It'd be too tempting.
Yeah.
Mark was one of the few people I met out here all day.
Pretty sure you don't want to go any further. This brings back quite a few memories for me because I did the Corryarrick as part of a cross-Scotland ride back in the early 1990s. And at the end of it, my wrists were just completely numb. So I went to my local bike shop and said, I need a pair of very good front suspension forks, please. Made a bit of a difference. Always like to stick my nose in a bothy, just to see what's going on.
This is Melgarve, just off the Corryarrick route.
Oh, that's pretty good. Fire. Very tidy bothy, really. High fire risk after the August we've had. You're kidding.
And I wanna stay here for days, forever, just to be here in this place, forever.
Spey's looking a lot smaller now. Always a bit weird to see things like that out here. I know states use them all the time, but it just seems incongruent. I'm pretty sure this is a private lodge owned by the estate.
It's called Shesganon on the map, and it is very well locked up.
I think I was lucky it was rideable right to here, because it doesn't look it on the Ordnance Survey map. I know though the next bit isn't, so I'm gonna leave the bike here, take my lead from the windows here and lock it up, and cover the last 2K on foot. Now you can see why I'm wearing the boots. This is a pretty good track because it actually goes through to bothy, which is at the head of Glen Roy. Just a minute, I have to cross the little stream. So if you were out for 2 days or one very long day, you could link these two and it would be really quite a nice place to stay. I went to bothy in this video if you want to have a quick look and see what it is like.
The full tour could look like this. This is the short section I'm doing from Lagan to Loch Spey. You could continue to the bothy in Upper Glen Roy and then down to the road. The problem is riding the long section of the busy A85, although there is a slower alternative. Things improve before the big dam, where you cross onto forestry tracks and up the east side of Loch Lagan and through Ardverichy Estate, then take a hill track back across to the route I'm on.
I think that's pretty much the way GB Duro and Badger Divide comes up. A lot of that path. Ah! Yeah, right down the top of my boots.
There's a kilometre or so of bog plodging, then a much better track appears, and I'm told this goes most of the way to the next glen, so that longer route is doable.
Just realised it does look a bit silly going for a walk with a helmet on. Probably should have left that with the bike.
Then down below the track, I see the end of today's quest. 200 metres wide, 300 metres long, shallow, lots of reeds. This is where the Great Spey River rises.
So there is just one more thing for me to do. I brought a wee drop of Speyside's finest from further down the river, up here, bringing it home, as it were. I'm sure the ecology of the loch can stand a wee drag. Yeah, we don't need ice for that. Probably a bit too much water too. When you look at this, the infant River Spey, and think it has got 116 miles to travel before it reaches the North Sea, the adventures it's going to have along the way. Good afternoon.
Whether those adventures are small ones like mine today, or bigger adventures altogether, for me it's the promise of ones to come, the unknown potential, that's particularly exciting. That goes to the heart of my being and why I named this channel as I did. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. I'll see you again next time. Bye.